Hi everyone, Finn and Flask here. So today I want to be showing you how to use an ultrasonic cleaner and how to disassemble an 1858 Army, Remington new model Army, whatever you want to call it, and how to use the ultrasonic cleaner with it. Basically, I'm using a much smaller one. I saw that Guns of the West was using an ultrasonic cleaner, and it made me think about getting it. And he got a really big one that you could fit the whole gun in. I just got a small one so I can clean the parts. And then I just clean the rest of the pistol by hand. So you clean all the interior parts and the cylinder and stuff, and it's generally pretty good. I really appreciate Dustin bringing the ultrasonic cleaner to my attention, because the one thing that I always hated about cleaning cap and ball revolvers was the nipples, because you got to get in there and clean them, and they just have threads, and it's usually makes my fingers sore and stuff like that. So when I saw that, it's like, well, if I can just get a small one, I can just do all my nipples, you know, like when I'm shooting my shotguns and stuff like that. Just like, it makes everything so much easier. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of the Remington new model Army, and we'll get started right now. All right, so here's my Remington, and basically anybody who's been watching my videos for a while know that I ended up breaking the loading lever. I broke it. I can still shoot it, but I used the loading stand. So I just popped this out completely. It's giving me a hard time. Pop the cylinder out. Why is it giving me a hard time? Don't know why I was doing that. So I still got it stuck in there because the screw's broken right there, but I can still clean this gun. I can still shoot it too, so I'm gonna have to eventually deal with it, but okay. So the first thing you gotta do is take apart a Remington, take apart the handle. Get that going. Take a little tension off the spring. Spring slides right out. Okay. So now you take this spring and this screw out. Trigger spring, screw. It's a little bit different than a Colt, but it's still pretty much the same. Bolt out and take the hammer, get this, you gotta bring this down so you can get this one out. And then you pull the hammer out. And then it's broken down to the frame. Now I'm gonna put all my parts in the basket. Clean up the guts of this thing pretty good. This tiny little hammer screw, you know, I'm gonna leave that out because it's just gonna get lost. But I forgot I gotta pop all the cones out, and I'm gonna pop the cones and the cylinder right inside. So I'm setting this thing to the maximum setting, which is 4. 480 seconds. I'm dropping some Dawn in there, get it nice and going. Now I'm just dropping my T-handle, my frame and barrel right in there, and I'm gonna let it relax for about 10 minutes, make sure it gets nice and soft, and then I'm gonna clean the bore. Now I'm just gonna do this, soften it up with the wire brush. See how dark that got? Now I'm going to change the water, and I change the water every time I do it. I only did one with soap. The first one with soap, the second one no soap, and the last one. So while that stuff's going on over there, I'm working on this, on the frame. I punched the bore a couple times. Punched the bore a couple times with this cleaner bore. It's, let me see, can I get it? So you can see it. It's really clean. I already lubricated it and got all this lubricated inside of here. So I'm just waiting for all those parts to be finished. I'm gonna put it back together. All right, so I've gotta dry out all these parts. I just blow out the cylinders, and I'm gonna run a patch down in there and try to dry that out a little bit. Just dry this off and all the parts, get them dry at least, and then I'm gonna cover them all with Ballistol. All right, so I'm just gonna dab a little Ballistol right here. I'm gonna start wiping down parts with it. Now I'm going to do the inside of the cylinders a little bit, just so that they don't get rusty on the inside, because it really takes all the oil out of everything. I'm just going to rub down the cylinder, and then I'm going to start popping the cones in. Remember, when you're doing a Remington, you got to come in at an angle, because these nipples, cones, whatever you want to call them, don't go in straight like they do on a Colt. So I'm going to pop all the cones back in, and then I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I got all the cones back in, and now I'm going to start putting it back together. So you drop the hammer in. And the hand. I'm gonna line those things up. It's a little tricky. This is a really wonky little screw. Okay. Okay. Bolt. Trigger. Get them lined up so they go in. trigger spring. It's a little awkward doing this with a tripod around me. Slide that in, then tighten this. Now that works. Okay. We're rapidly closing in on the end of the deal. I'm going to pop the cylinder in. When they're brand new, they're a little tricky to get to line up. They're a little tricky to line up when they're broken too, but that's a different story altogether. Everything seems to be lining up just fine, and she's nice and clean and protected. After seeing this, I really think this is the ultimate way how to clean cap and ball revolvers. It is actually probably a little more time consuming to do it this way because it's multiple times going through, but it's a lot easier on you. And I think you get a more effective clean. So it's a little more time consuming, but it's still very good. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.